Billions will be lost in this shutdown due to poor communication between teams. And to help you avoid those, I'm here with Mira Swarup on the Business Bond. Welcome, Mira, to the Business Bond. So good to have you back. And during the shutdown, we see some exciting changes that are happening in companies, but really, there's nothing good that's going to come out of it, but there is a silver lining. Companies that are going to be well prepared for this are going to come out a little bit ahead than others. Thanks for spending your time with us today. Now, you're an impact communication coach. How do we create impact during this shutdown? How do teams work more effectively?
If I was to share quickly what I really feel could make a difference, communication on 3 levels, if it got sorted, would really enable teams. Communication on the first level with the leaders. I believe leaders, when they start communicating in this kind of a lockdown scenario, their communication needs to clearly spell out certain ground rules.
A leader needs to communicate to his team that, guys, if I can't talk to you for about a week, it doesn't mean that your responsibility factor has to start coming down. And in this, we're going to have the litmus test. We're going to see the people that don't need that constant push on a daily basis, that need it maybe on a weekly basis. And the people that after 2-3 days of you as a leader motivating them start slowing down, those are the people that are actually now the ones that aren't as responsible as you thought, and you probably quietly suspected it all the time. And I think this will be a good opportunity to see apples from oranges in this one. What do you think?
A little piece of advice that I would offer to them is if they could start breaking down their teams into smaller groups, something like groups of 6 to 8, and then allocating leaders within, where it is a ground rule that leader must communicate on a phone call, not just on chat, must communicate on a phone call, even if it's very brief, with all of the participants at least once a week.
What does this all lead to? Does it lead to productivity or happiness? I'm actually going to say it leads to productivity, and happiness is just going to be a result. Now, a lot of people say, well, hey, Gulraj, happy workers mean productive workers. That might be true, but actually, no. It is true a little bit. It's not true for the most part. In fact, productive workers equal happy workers.
So I would agree with both sides of the equation if we can balance it out. Yes, when I'm productive is one of my happiest days ever. It's certainly a most satisfying and a most gratifying day ever. So I completely agree with you. Productive workers will make happy workers.
Absolutely. Now, Mira, tell us, what are some ways we can lower these barriers to communication? You teach impact. It is not very impactful all the time when we're telecommuting. What are some ways that you can suggest that we can lower these barriers?
The biggest impact that happens is there is no body language. Now, the detrimental fact about not having body language visible, even on a call, how much can you absorb? Because the body language is not visible, difficult conversations become even worse.
Yeah, absolutely, because in fact, if you know me, I communicate a lot kinesthetically and I communicate a lot visually. And I think we're all going to have to start making that shift about communicating verbally now.
Gulraj, I've been speaking about communication, but I'm very keen on learning from you, because this lockdown period is also an opportunity for me to learn. What are the technology options available out there where people can collaborate more seamlessly?
Zoom is great. Another one that's excellent is TeamViewer, but you don't get to see each other much, but there's a lot of screen sharing you can do. Cisco's WebEx is incredible. It has probably the most features anybody can ever imagine, and I would give it much higher marks than Zoom in almost every single way, but I still use Zoom more. One very basic one is on WhatsApp. Video quality isn't very good, and you have a limitation of about 4 people, but it's free, just like the free version of Zoom or free version of WebEx. Microsoft Teams is an outstanding collaboration tool. Skype has sort of given away the market because they are not as seamless as some of the other tools, but Skype, like a lot of them, is very good at actually making phone calls from your phone to international clients as well. One that's underrated but also very good is Zoho. Zoho has incredible conferencing, and for people who are using Zoho as a CRM or as an ERP, they're going to like Zoho a lot. Mira, tell me, what communication practices would you love to give to some teams so they can work better from home?
For this one, I would like to just title it, Reach Out. Again, we're in this realm because there is no body language. The other thing that's missing is our ability to just catch up with people in corridors,
I think that would mean so much to people. It would mean so much to people.
Gulraj, you work a lot with leaders, and I'm sure you must have come across this question.
Yes.
What is it that leaders can do in these remote destinations that everyone's working in?
Now, leaders, there's tremendous technology at your disposal right now, and the ones I would recommend, this first line of action is just check in with them repeatedly. Check in with them morning, noon, and evening, and I think that should do it. Otherwise, make sure that you're using proper delegation techniques that say, hey, after you've reached this stage, give me a call, we'll discuss it, and then why don't you go on? Because there's 10 levels of delegation, and try to see where you would put that person in, because now that you're telecommuting, it's much different than when they're in the office. But if things get a little bit out of hand and you're simply not able to motivate them using the conventional techniques, use Clockify. Clockify is an incredible software. It helps you manage your teams in a much better way, where everybody has to log in from time to time and tell you what they're up to, and it's a wonderful management system.
What is a communication strategy we can apply at home? How is it that people at home, our newfound colleagues, our spouse, our children, our parents, whoever we're staying with, it's very essential that we communicate with them as well. I believe there's this beautiful thing that works, and I'm trying to apply it at home. It's working really well. I believe the minute you have children that are above 5 years of age, they take instructions so beautifully. They understand. Maybe mommy's in a meeting. When there's a red card hanging outside my door, don't enter. When there's a yellow card hanging outside my door, knock, check. I might be just available. Yeah. When there is a green card hanging outside my door, walk in, baby, give me a hug for all I care. Now, when we communicate with our family, we tell them these structures and we invite them to tell us, hey, what will work for you? How would you like this to work for you?
Oh, I love that, Mira, what you said about that red, yellow, and green. That system is going to work beautifully for me, because I've been having a little bit of trouble with that. Sometimes there is a bit of a coordination gap. To our viewers, please join in, and whenever you need to get in touch with Mira, you're an impact communication coach. How do we get more of you, and what's the best way to reach you?
I am totally reachable on my LinkedIn account as well as my Facebook and Instagram accounts. And I have a lot of videos that I keep publishing every week on these accounts, and people are most welcome to come watch, see whatever value they can gather from them. And I also have a functional YouTube account, so whichever channel works for them to communicate.
Mira is spelled M-I-R-A. You can catch her all over social media: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. Mira, thank you for spending your valuable time with us, and thank you for joining us on the Business Pond. I'm Gulraj Shahpuri, and I mean business.